Hey Bob, how you doing today?
Matt, it's great to be here. How are you?
I'm all right. Hey, this is Bob. For those of you who don't know, this is Bob Davis. He's probably one of the most passionate photographers that I know. He loves his business and he loves his job, and he loves what he does. And been a friend of ours at Radio Popper for quite a while now.
Thanks. I really, going back all those years when I first met Kevin and he introduced me to the Radio Popper, I was like, oh man, you are going to change the way I do things because I love off-camera lighting and I love the convenience of speedlights, but I hated the frustration of line of sight at that time. So you guys have really allowed me to take my lighting and creativity to a whole new level. So that in and of itself has been amazing. Thanks.
So Bob, I wanted to chat with you today about our new RadioPopper Nano. I know that you do a lot of ETTL with your Canon Speedlites, the 600s, and but I've sent you some RadioPopper Nanos, and you've been using them, and I want to know what you thought about them and kind of what your feedback was.
It's been great. I love the simplicity of the Nanos in as much as you can put them on a light stand or any device with a 1/4 20 stud and then slide the Speedlite right into the shoe and you're in business. The transmitter is simple, 4 channels, way to go. Really simple operation. And it doesn't matter if you're using Canon, Nikon, or Sony. It's just light and it works amazing. The range is great. Let me share with you one of the big pluses. While I love the 600s and they're amazing and you have the communication built in, it's limiting. I really push my lighting to the limit. So a lot of times I'll put them behind walls, across the street in a room, inside a car. Those kind of things limit the range of that 2.4 gigahertz at which the Canon Speedlights communicate. Or I've even had times where I'm in a grand ballroom at a hotel and there's other Wi-Fi and other interference on that highway. There's a lot of stuff that communicates at that frequency range and they'll just wig out. I used to really get freaked out when that would happen because I'm used to doing my own off-camera lighting. But the Nanos have been awesome because the range is excellent. They're at a different frequency, so all those variables don't come into play here and they just work. You're right, I do 90% of everything in ETTL, but I'm comfortable in manual as well. So I just drop them into manual mode. I've got the Nanos living on my light stand. So the last 3 events I've had to turn them on and use them for a period of time because there was some frequency interference. And then later in the evening, when things changed in the environment, I was able to switch back. But I was able to continue with my lighting style and not have to sacrifice anything just because at that point in time, something else was on the highway at 2.4 gigahertz.
So you're saying that you are using your 600s and you actually have Nanos attached to them, so you are ready in a pinch if they fail for you.
For sure. One of my core beliefs is to practice, 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 and always be prepared. And by being prepared, I don't get freaked out when the first few times I was using this in the 600s and we lost communication and you're trying to reboot and you're trying to get things to work again. And then you just have to go to one bounce flash, and that's not our signature look and that's not the way I'm comfortable working. So when you shared with me the prototypes of the Nano, I'm like, yeah, those suckers are going to live in my bag. And as soon as I run into a situation where I'm testing the lights where I can even do the scan on the 600 and the frequencies are all over the place, I don't worry about it. I just turn on the Nanos and away we go.
Oh, great, great. You had mentioned that you maybe had you just did a workshop recently and you were using them at a workshop with a whole bunch of people checking them out.
I got to tell you, for teaching, this has been a godsend. And the reason why, whenever we do our What the Flash lighting workshops, folks come and we encourage them to set up their lights and things. But what inevitably happens is in the pinch of the moment and trying to have the model do something, they get confused on how to get their speedlights communicating, whether it's Canon, Nikon, anything. Oftentimes they're frustrated because things aren't working right. And then it takes me a lot of time to go individually to get all their gear working. And by that time, it could be an hour, hour and a half, just getting the speedlights to communicate. My passion is to get them excited about learning how to light and sharing that. They could practice the communication outside of the class. So we used the Nanos and we had Canon people, Nikon people, Sony people, and even one person with a point and shoot like Rico. And we set up the lights how we wanted them to be. And then we just passed around the Nano transmitter. So everybody was able to create beautiful images, all using the Canon Speedlights. It's like worlds are colliding. Oh no, Canon and Nikon playing nice together. I got a Canon camera and Nikon strobes, or I got a Nikon camera and I'm using, my 600s all in manual mode. So let me share some of those images.
Oh, you got some? Oh, cool.
We got some images here. So here we are, Canon user using 3 Speedlites acting as one, effectively giving us 150 watt seconds to shoot that really challenging shot into the sun. And then you just pass the transmitter to someone using a Nikon and you share your settings and then let them go and play. You know, and people were coming up with all kinds of creative scenarios where they wanted to shoot. Here's a Nikon user with Canon Speedlites, right?
Oh, cool.
So that in and of itself is just great to have, to be able to let people concentrate on lighting.
Well, hey, Bob, thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your day to chat with me. Some really cool stories about what you've been using the Nanos for. But for those of you who want to check out Bob, you check out his workshops. It's davisworkshops.com. He provides awesome education for photographers of any level, and just something about Bob, you're gonna walk away loving it. You're gonna learn a lot. So, Bob, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and I hope to talk to you real soon.
Thanks, Matt, and keep pushing those boundaries. I love the innovations you guys are creating.
Thank you. Thank you.